From the east, house of light, may wisdom dawn in us, so we may see all things in clarity. From the north, house of night, may wisdom ripen in us, so we may know all from within. From the west, house of transformation, may wisdom be transformed into right action, so we may do what must be done. From the south, house of the eternal sun, may right action reap the harvest, so we may enjoy the fruits of planetary being. From above, house of heaven, where star people and ancestors gather, may their blessings come to us now. From below, house of earth, may the heartbeat of her crystal core bless us with harmonies to end all war. From the center, galactic source, which is everywhere at once, may everything be known as the light of mutual love. Yum Huna Ku Eva Maya E Ma Ho. Yum Huna Ku Eva Maya E Ma Ho. Yum Huna Ku Eva Maya E Ma Ho. All hail the harmony of mind and nature.
And so it is, We are in harmony with mind and nature. It is raining in Florida. Yay! So it is a lot cooler out here. So I'm in the heart of nature, baby, just like my friend Ralph Smart. Welcome, everybody, to this Wednesday night edition of Viada's Tiny House Village. So every Wednesday, I give away a free book. And that's if you make a Cash App donation of any amount. And this is my Cash App here. And I'm also giving away today, if you send a Cash App donation, I'm giving you my ebook. Not that one. No, this one, Creating a Tiny House Village. I wrote this about 8 years ago, and it just chronicles all the things I've done. All these are pictures of my transformative house that I now live in. And if you send a Cash App for any amount, you'll get this ebook as well as my Vegetable Soup for Women, which is 9 authors wrote this book to bring you nourishment for your body, your mind, and your finances. So you get all kinds of gifts here. And especially today, you get a gift of my special guest, Paul Elkins. I think I said that right. Paul is a master creator of all kinds. Elkins, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Paul Elkins is with me tonight. And so I want to bring him in right away because I think Paul is just going to bless us all with so much knowledge, wisdom, and information. Welcome, Paul.
Thank you. Hello, Viada.
And it's starting to rain. I hope I didn't make a mistake by being out here in the rain in the patio, but can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine, yeah.
Okay, welcome. So I think you'll have to speak up a little bit, but I found your website, Temporary Obsessions by Paul. Is that right?
Yeah.
I want to just bring that on. The picture is just so amazing. It's so mind-blowing. When you look at this, is one of your creations, right?
Yeah, that's my third rendition of a trike that I wanted to build since probably 1980s. Yeah.
So you created that in the 1980s?
No, I wanted to build a trike like this starting in 1980s, and it's just one of those ideas that I've had in the back burner, and finally, after two other renditions, I finally completed it about 4 years ago. Yeah.
So you call it temporary obsessions in minimalist design. So are most of your first of all, let's hear from you personally about can you tell us a little bit about your journey and how you got to be this masterful creator?
Well, you actually brought up my uncle there. Can you scroll up a little bit to show a little more of him?
Okay, hold on. Let me see. Scroll up.
There he is. There's a, yeah. If you could bring the vehicle up just a little bit more.
Oh,
Right
okay.
there, right there, right there.
Okay.
So you could read it or I could tell you, but this is basically my uncle. And he lived probably 40 miles away from where I grew up. He was on 40 acres. Very clever guy. He was a late pioneer. Um, Kind of created any type of machinery that he needed for his farm area. He raised cows and did other things, but this is an example of what he made. You can see the saw on the front of the truck. That's for cutting firewood.
Oh my
The old,
goodness.
this old 1932 truck, it looks like. He flipped the whole thing so it drove in reverse. Um, and then he drug logs off of his property to cut up. He built a sawmill and then he built another. So, anyway, my uncle was a pretty big inspiration in my life for realizing that, yeah, a little imagination, a little bit of knowledge of tools, and not being afraid of tackling big projects, you can go a long ways.
So where were you actually born?
I was born in, well, I was raised in Woodinville, Washington, Linwood, Washington State.
Washington State.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
all your life, huh?
I've been in and around the Puget Sound area most of my life. Spent a few years in Alaska and Colorado. Yeah,
Okay. Now were you born to did you have two parents growing up
I did. I did. My
and
father was,
siblings
sorry,
and siblings?
I'm the youngest of four brothers. And yeah, they tease me mercilessly, but that's how that goes, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. Youngest gets teased a lot. I'm the youngest
Yeah,
of three girls, so yeah, I know that story.
yeah. Yeah, so raised in a rural area at Woodinville, Washington. Before it, now it's all pretty grown up, but same with the whole area around Puget Sound. It's changed in a lot of years, but grew up on farmland and yeah,
So did you marry and have children?
I did. I married at about 25, I believe, 26. Yeah. And I now have a daughter. From that marriage came my daughter, Christina. She lives in Texas and she has her own family now, two boys, a 9-year old and a 13-year old. And yeah, they're doing pretty good over there.
So as you know, Paul, we have a housing crisis. Would you
Yeah.
agree we have a housing crisis? And I'm dedicating this day especially, and my whole channel is creating a tiny house village because after my divorce, I realized I couldn't afford to live in a condo, 900 square foot condo for $1,000 a month. I didn't want to pay that much money, so I found a tiny house on wheels, 8 by 20, and I lived in there for 5 years. I loved it, absolutely loved it. I had to park it out in the country outside Orlando because Orlando is very strict about tiny house living and on
Hmm.
wheels. And the land was there, but people had all these, or the city has all these restrictions, of course. So my introduction to minimalism and tiny house living came in 2014, and I've been small ever since. I have no desire to go back. I've owned three houses. When I first got married, we were in a townhouse, 2 bedroom townhouse. We got bigger and bigger till we ended up with 4-bedroom, 3-bath house with a pool, and stayed in there for 10 years. And then after the divorce, divorce just changes your priorities, I think. And
That it
as
does. Yeah.
I don't need the big house and the pool and the 2-car garage. And my 2 sons were grown. So,
Right.
Paul, what's been your story about housing? Have you had any major housing challenges, and why are you interested in building? Other than your uncle's influence, what's your
Right.
motivation for wanting to build small items or whatever? And how can we contribute or solve some of the housing problems?
Right. Big question. That last one.
I'm
That could
sorry if
take
it was
three
too long.
hours. Well, I'll give you a little rundown. So I grew up in Bellevue, Washington, which is kind of the most elite little city in Washington. My dad wanted to progressively get more affluent, which he did. Built a new house when I was about 9 years old, and we moved to Bellevue, Anti area, which is now highly sought after. We just sold that old house for $1.5 million. They knocked it down and built a huge McMansion on it. Anyway, point being is that um, once I got on my own, once I graduated high school with terrible grades, um, I didn't mind finding the quiet life. My friend and I decided to move to the coast for the summer right after high school, and we ended up hanging out in a little town called La Push, Little Indian Reservation, about 160 residents there, local natives. Um, Got a great experience from that. A few years later, no, about, excuse me, just a year later, my friend was, same friend, was traveling about and came into Telluride, Colorado, and called me up and told me about it. And I got all excited. And I was living with my mom and dad at the time and really tired of the whole disco age society of Seattle at the time. I just wanted to get out. So when I got to Colorado, I lived there for probably 5, 6 years in the backcountry. Telluride is just a little ski village, very quaint, very intimate. You get to know a lot of the people there. But while I was doing that, I really didn't have a career yet. So there was a point where I was just kind of fumbling around, living out of a bread truck, an old '58 Chevy bread truck,
A
and
bread truck? What
a
is that?
bread truck. Yeah, just somebody turned it into a camper.
Oh, okay.
So that was my home for a while, and then I guess I'm trying to explain the pivotal point in my journey leading up to my interest in homelessness was I parked that for a while and went with a friend to Aspen, Colorado, seeking some work. Now, actually, it was Rifle, Colorado. It was during the shale oil, the very beginnings of that happening. When we finally hitchhiked into town, they'd shut all that down overnight. So I ended up going to Aspen. And so it was really counterculture for me. I had my backpack, my friend the same. I had a bag of gorp to live off of for about a day or two, and then that went out, and nobody was hiring. So it was a momentary time where I actually felt hunger pains, and first time in my life, and wondering what I was going to do next, what would happen if this continued. It scared me, and it gave me a little insight of the plight of a lot of the common homeless people that you see on the streets. It's a real thing. Sometimes you put yourself in that situation, other times you find that people have a mishap at work, or fall, break something, lose their job, the whole scenario. And
Divorce.
divorce,
Yeah.
trying to alleviate pain from something, you get hooked on, Oxycontin, whatever. Many reasons why people become homeless, but it is not a good place to be. It's very disheveling and really, I don't know. since I've read quite a few books on the issue, and it just made me kind of more interested in the issue. As far as tiny houses go, I've always been into small things. Um, Remember when I was a kid and um, I had the upstairs of our house. It was just 2x4s. It wasn't sheetrocked, but I chose this little closet to be my office, which was like 2 foot wide by 5 feet long, and I loved it there. It was just kind of comforting. So I've never been claustrophobic, and I realize everything's right at your hands. I just like that. I don't know.
So even though you grew up with a dad who's building big, your goal or your interest was smaller. That's kind of interesting that growing up in a family like that, and yet you didn't desire to have a big house. And what now? When you were married, are you still married?
Third marriage, yeah.
Okay, so when you in your first marriage, did you desire to have that big house with the garage and all that, or
Well, that was our bum period.
okay,
we
there usually is.
we were renting an old depression house for $20 a month in
Oh,
Placerville,
wow.
Colorado.
Okay,
It had running water and electricity, nothing
okay.
else.
So as you progressed, did you find you wanted to go smaller or stay or get bigger?
No, the interest in living smaller, or the idea, I should say, of living smaller came much later in my life, right about the time I turned about 40, 45. So one thing that I've done, and maybe I haven't told you, but I used to go to Burning Man. If you've ever heard of that,
Burning Man?
Burning Man.
Yeah, I've heard of it,
Yeah. So it's a festival out in Nevada,
right?
and that's kind of where I started experimenting with a lot of shelters. It's a very harsh environment, very hot, dry, and first one that I built was with fluted plastic.
A
The
what?
material, the first one I built was with fluted plastic.
Is that on your website?
Oh yeah, they're all on my website.
Okay. Is that
elkinsdiy.com is my website. And there I kind of have posted everything that I've done in the last 15 years.
okay?
Yeah.
Let's see if we can pull some of that up. Elkins DIY.
Yeah, you had it just a moment ago.
Oh, okay, I did. Okay, here we go.
In the top menu, you have, you can click that and hit, it'll give you a list of all the different things that I've done.
Projects under projects.
Yes.
Shelters, transportation, boats, survival ideas. What do you suggest? Mobile shelters, stationary shelters?
You can go to stationary shelters. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Stationary shelters. Can you see this or
No, I can't.
okay, I'm gonna pull it up in a minute. Let's see. Okay, let me pull that up so everybody can see because this is it's so fascinating what you've been doing. Uh,
There's probably the first one you see is, yeah, here you go.
the cinder block dome.
This is one that I did just last year. This was
Uh-huh.
go ahead and click on it if you'd like. It's my daughter. I'll have her call me back. Can I call you back on? Oh, can I call you back? Thank you.
So this just shows you what you went through to build it.
Correct. So what
Oh,
I did was I developed a tool that
oh wait,
created
that's a
this.
mini model.
Yes, that's G.I. Joe. That's my buddy G.I. Joe.
So you pulled up, you did a mini model first.
Correct. So I had an idea, um, Viana, but of making a tool that created kind of have beehive shaped dome. And I envisioned this first with hay bales, but later on decided on this one that I would use small cinder blocks. So had that in the back of my head, and I finally decided to make a prototype of it. Um, and it was sized to my little 11-inch tall GI Joe doll. So I thought, well, while I've got this thing made, this little tool, I might as well use it to make a model. So this is that model, which is sitting right next to me here. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, say so. Is that where's the live version?
The live version,
The larger version.
it never got built. That's as
Oh,
far as
okay.
I
But you
went with
did
the
have the
idea.
model there.
Right.
Okay, and so that's how a person starts making a little mini model, huh?
Yeah, it was just me experimenting with my idea. Maybe if
Okay.
you went to the middle one, the budget transitional homeless shelter, that one I have.
Oh wow. Okay. There you go. Now what are the basic you did you build all of these?
No, what if you read this? This is Eric de Boer's design of a Quonset hut. Do you know what a Quonset hut is?
60 square feet Conestoga hut for the homeless of 2,500 to 3,500 depending on the amount salvage materials used.
So I was trying to get that price down using different materials.
Okay.
So I got this down to $900,
Oh
and I lived
wow.
in it for about a month during COVID.
Okay.
This one that I'm posing with.
Okay.
This is 6 foot wide by 8 feet long. There you go. 44 square feet. But I pretty much packed most everything in that little space. And here I'm just showing you how I put it together. So all of these projects you see too, I've done videos on all of them, pretty much.
On your YouTube channel?
Yes, and the YouTube channel is right there on my homepage of my website if you need a hot link. But here I'm showing just kind of how I built this using kind of a thicker type fluted plastic. The easy stuff to buy is little 4 millimeter plastic. It's plastic cardboard, and I use it predominantly for campaign signs. You'll
Okay.
see during election times, you'll see big signs out there or little ones for sale signs, and that's what I'm using. And this is a little thicker material, and I use that to create 4 sheets of that to create the roof. And then particle board for the two end walls.
Amazon $99 window with slider and bug screen. Okay.
Yeah, that's probably the newest thing in there. Decided why not. You have an opening window, you have bug screen, and here's the kitchen layout. I had a little kitchen to where I had a stove in the corner. Um, Very simple. Little office desk. Yeah. And that's right there. Hang on a second, back up a little. That's my little watering area. So fresh water is in the clear 3 gallon plastic jug. And that's like a boat fuel pump that pumps the water up to your sink and then discharges it in the blue bucket when you're done.
Very creative. Oh, you've
So
got
my
TV
whole
screen.
idea when I create these things is to make basic things that are pretty much readily available off of store shelves.
So where would you buy most of your material or where did you find your material?
Uh, we have uh, we have a place called Lowe's or Home Depot. I don't know if you have that there.
Oh yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah, we
Yeah,
do.
all of that came from there. Just simple items,
And I
plywood.
and
The
something
fluted plastic is the hardest part, though, to be honest. It's a bugger to get a hold of. I sometimes have to go to plastic supply places to get it, if you can find it anymore. It was kind of at one time quite readily available, but yeah, not too many people, except for crazy kooks like me, play with this stuff, the thicker stuff. So I actually bought up most of Seattle's stock.
and what is it? The plastic, this white plastic, is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, the white plastic. Yeah.
Uh-huh. that makes the wall up the walls.
Yeah. What they do is they also, this is polypropylene. They do make it in a clear version, and it's more used for greenhouses, the
Okay.
6 millimeter thick.
And
So the
and
little
how?
joint you see in that center is a clear strip that is meant for the greenhouse,
Uh-huh.
clear fluted plastic. But it worked out good for me joining the two together.
And how good? How does it hold up to bad weather like rain or wind?
So far, so good. I've kind of got it tucked in between rock wall, so it really hasn't been totally exposed to the elements, but it's pretty solid. It
Okay, so
can be
this is
moved. It can be moved if you need to. It's kind of made to where it's you can get under there with a forklift, put it on a truck, or I made it easy enough to break down in about a half hour.
oh, okay, kind of like Elon Musk creation, huh? Have you seen
Well,
his house?
no, I haven't. I don't
Oh
care
my
to
goodness.
either.
It's pretty sophisticated. It folds up, but it's fairly inexpensive. But it folds up, and you can put it away and bring and unfold it, and it's pretty creative.
Okay.
Okay, so where should we go next? Let's see.
So yeah, this was one. You can scroll down now. Right there in the middle, the little,
Hexadome.
yeah, hexa one. So this is one I made probably 10 years ago.
Uh huh.
And as far as creating, okay, I noticed you had my yellow and white teepee on the cover of your intro of me. Do you
Uh
remember
huh.
that? When you
Yes.
had a little tricycle?
Uh huh.
So the teepee I made first, this guy I made second. The teepee I made actually used just 4 sheets of the fluted plastic and tape, and that created the whole thing except for a floor, and it folded together like a fan within about 30 seconds. Boom, 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 boom. When you spread it out, you had a Velcro strip that joined it all together. This here, though, took about 8 sheets, but it also included a floor, a little more waste and material. But I really like the headspace and the more roominess in it. And you were showing some of the interior there if you scroll down. Here I had my chair in there. There's a bed, a little nook to have all your books and belongings, storage underneath the chair and the bed. And then scroll up a little more and I'll kind of show you the kitchen area. There it is. Yeah.
And then where? What about bathroom? What did you do with that?
No bathroom. I just had a little jug that you'd pee in if you need to. It did not have a bathroom. But for a
Okay.
basic shelter, I really like this. It was small. I think it was 44 square feet, something around there. I think I may have written it down.
And what's the estimated cost to build that?
That one probably, I wanted to actually make it in a little thicker fluted plastic, probably about, let's see, I'm able to get those seats for about 32 bucks a piece. So 8 times 32, 240. And that was put together just with tape. And that too folded up. Not as easily as the Coro teepee, my teepee, that's what I called that. But still foldable and kind of you could flat pack it pretty easily.
So that wouldn't last for very well in bad weather, then, huh? If you're taping it.
I actually would probably do, yeah, you're probably right. Um, and the one you got your cursor on right now, that Burning Man box, that's the first shelter I ever built using fluted plastic. That's a
Oh,
4x4x4 box
is
using
that
two
you
and a
in
half
there?
sheets. That's me.
Okay.
I had my the chair that I'm sitting in here was sitting in there. This was in 2004, and so it had a shelf. It had all of my little accoutrements there. It didn't have a. It was just more of just a hangout box to get out of the elements. if it gets windy there, like 50-mile-an-hour winds, so I could shut that door and get away from all that dust and everything.
And you built that in like one day?
Yeah,
Wow.
just
Where
two
now?
by.
Where?
So this also was kind of a box that I pre-made before I went to the event.
Okay.
Yeah, so I used 2 by 2 material for the framing and made it such that it just bolted together in about 10 minutes. And then I taped some of the seams just for the heck of it. But yeah, worked real
Uh,
good. Couldn't sleep in it. I should have made it longer. Should have been
Okay.
4 by 8 instead of 4 by 4, but it was my
Okay.
first experiment with the material.
So that's what so many people need to
That
consider.
one there, recycled campaign sign. Here's a good example of what I've done with reclaimed campaign signs.
Oh my. Okay. And you can
Keep,
actually sleep in this?
yes, keep scrolling down and you can see the interior.
Oh
I had a
my.
shower, exterior shower bag there. Water
Okay.
collection from the roof.
Okay.
And there's your shower curtain right there in the opening. And this is the same chair I got, and your bed is off to the right. Clothes, you had everything there. You had a little closet, bookshelf. I try to just throw everything in this little guy. Here's the other end of it here. This is the kitchen area, and it also opted as a desk. You had it's more plug-ins, so I had a refrigerator in there. I had a little TV. Yeah, a light. But this is all just using campaign signs. There too, I made a little wood frame for the wood face of it, the flat face, and then everything connected to that.
And there
So
it
this
is.
was about 4 times 8. What is that? 32 square feet. And you had a little more from the protrusions, which was there. There it is, getting torn down. It went through about I'm guessing about 8 years in the elements before I took it down.
8 years?
Yeah.
Wow. You said this is to be built for your son or daughter who's eager to be independent, but not able to leave your home.
Why
That
not? No, I thought this was perfect for a kid who wants to be independent. You can't afford to move out yet, but if you got a backyard, a father or somebody, or it could be a team effort to put something like this together, and they get to have their own little space and get the feeling of independence and what it's like to live on your own. Even at a micro scale, it would be beneficial for any young kid, I would think.
Well, at least this gives people an idea if they are they want to say unhoused instead of homeless. That's the new phrase or word, unhoused,
Yeah.
because they do have a home. But these are ideas for you, and for those of you who are watching. Once you get to a place of building bigger, you have had so many ideas from Paul here. Well, can you do a kitchen? Do you need a bathroom? How long do you need your bed to be? And then you, like you said, do a little model with your GI, like your GI Joe guy. Is this another? Did we do the Burning Man phone?
No, no, you didn't do that one.
Okay, that's like a TP kind of thing.
This is a bigger version. So there's a fellow at Burning Man who developed what he called a hexayurt. You would have to look it up, but these were really beneficial for people at Burning Man to keep that little patch of ground that's housing inside the shelter and radiating that back into the shelter. And so
Okay.
Vinay Gupta came up with these designs of using this Armax, excuse me, this Armax material and tape. He used a different kind of tape. I
Uh huh.
preferred Gorilla 3-inch duct tape. And his also kind of sort of folded together. This one really folds together. In the video, I show how my wife and I erected this in just a matter of minutes. It's kind of a 9-sided teepee. It's got a triangle roof. I could get on top of that roof and sit in my chair and overlook everybody. It's
Are
pretty
you
strong.
kidding? This roof here?
No, it was 1.5 inch thick foam insulation. Yeah. I had
So
two
this
people
is
up there.
pretty.
One lady jumped up on top too, and it didn't collapse. It's just foam.
Okay, so this is pretty strong.
But the problem here is we're just dealing with a temporary environment where it normally doesn't rain, but just gets windy, dusty, and very hot.
Yes.
So this would cool you off about 10 degrees cooler than outside by
And
not having the sun shining on that interior ground there.
okay, so estimated cost to build something like this is what?
This was about 350 at the time.
Oh,
And I did
really?
this
Okay.
about 2014.
Oh, wow. Okay. Now, you actually built this one?
Yeah, that's my pedal car. This was the first year my wife came to Burning Man with me. I had already gone about 6 times, and she's a school teacher. Um, and it'd always start, Labor Day, and that's when she had to go back to school. Anyway, she couldn't ride a bicycle. She hadn't really learned as a young kid, so I made this pedal car so we could tootle around the playa there, as they call it. You can't drive around this event. It's basically a dry, flat lake bed that's kind of like Bonneville salt flats, but more clay top. So everyone rides around in bicycles or creative vehicles. Yeah, so this is what I made. Fashioned after a French vehicle. Here I am taping the shelter up. I had to break it down in 2 pieces from what I remember.
And this is at the Burning Man
Yeah,
event.
and here it is just before I lift it up. I'm on one end, my wife's on the other, and it just folds up. And then it takes
Oh,
the shape.
cool.
There's the roof.
Oh, that's the roof you were on. Oh, so the roof is actually flattened on the top.
Yeah, it's a 1/2 inch plywood. The
Okay, I see
holes,
now.
the holes there house the little solar garden lights, the $1.50 ones at the dollar store, so it was lit up at night.
Oh, there you are. Now I
Yeah,
get it. First, I couldn't imagine you sitting on there, but there you are.
yeah.
Wow. Okay, very, very smart and creative. So let's see, what else do we have here?
That one
Uh,
there was the first shelter I made for Burning Man. Not very practical, but a good idea of what you can do with this foam. I designed this teepee, pyramid, and G.I. Joe helped me out. Here's a good example of a model. I figured out all my fold points so I could easily transport this on a trailer. And yeah,
and
there
this
was
is
the interior.
insulated.
Yeah, it's the same insulation. This was only 1 inch thick, I believe. And I had a little frame around it about 3 feet high, 8 foot by 8 foot by 8 foot. So there, oh, then I have another shelter. Go up a little bit. There we go. The shelter on the right, the small teepee, that is a foam version of the plastic one, that yellow and white one that I made. And that's that. So the first year she came to Burning Man, the big pyramid was where we'd hang out, cook, whatever. And then the one on the right, the teepee, is where we slept. And that was amazing. That was made out of 1.5 inch foam. And I sell plans for that on my website. I sell plans for quite a few of the things that I make actually on
Oh,
my
you
website.
do.
Yeah, I have pretty cheap to buy, but I offer them so people can make these things. But it was amazing. We were there in that teepee, and it was like it's just enough room for a big bed and then room on the sides for your belongings. And it was like, what's going on outside? Because all we had is a little octagon opening at the top. Uh, and so, but when you open the door, it might be blowing 25 miles an hour and you don't even know it. It was really a cool shelter.
Paul, on my last show, we showed how a woman was building a $150 bike house. Have you seen those?
I developed that.
You developed those?
Yeah.
So do you
I'm,
have a picture of any of those on your website?
you're on my website. Go back to shelters and go mobile shelters.
Yeah, okay, let me go
Just
back.
back arrow on my website.
Let me see. I got to go back here. I put.
Well, before you do,
Uh-huh.
go back a little bit and just go on the shelters section there. Yeah, go into projects.
Uh-huh.
That's your no. Go on no further over to your. There you go. Go down to shelters and rest over that. And now go over to stationary shelters. Click on that and scroll down. There's several pages actually. I've made a lot of stuff. And then the next page. Okay, here we go with another series of homeless shelters that I've created. This one here in the center, the yellow one,
Uh-huh.
go ahead and click on that. This was the first shelter I made in this Quonset hut shape, the arced. I just was playing around with a sheet of the fluted plastic, and I just thought, I wonder, can I make a shelter out of this? And this is what I came up with. And so I called this a homeless emergency shelter. Go ahead and scroll down a little bit.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And the materials again are what? This is
4mm fluted plastic. Pretty common. You can get this at Lowe's or Home Depot's.
uh-huh.
So I made, this is 1, 2, 3, 4 sheets. I show here with a wooden front, which is a good idea because then you can at least lock the door. But in my final one, I just used plastic for both sides. You can see
Oh,
here.
wow.
But it keeps the honest people honest. But if you had a wood front, but if you had a box knife, you can get right in. That's the darn problem. The big issue with a lot of the homeless structures, when they walk away, they may be susceptible to nefarious people who want to get into their belongings. So
Oh,
the
yeah.
big thing about these shelters, as you know, is just being able to really lock it up tight.
This is like a castle compared to some of them. Or this is
I built this for $100.
really.
Yeah, and all I'm using here is zip ties, and again, this is for sale. I sell plans on this. It's pretty cool. The window
Oh yeah, there's
folds
the zip
down,
ties.
rolls down. Yeah, yeah, it's a double wall front door there. There's your water, your trash can. And you got your bed and little kitchen, place to, I even made little shelves up above out of fluted plastic.
Now did you live in this for a while?
No, what I do is I like designing these things and then making them the prototype. I call them prototypes because they basically are the first time renditions of these things, and then show people what I've done, and then try to report to them how it is being in there, do a sleepover, get an idea of the condensation that's going on, or here, how much snow it'll hold. So I leave them out for a torture test for as long as they go until they get brittle, and I tear them down.
Do you ever sell them though?
No.
No?
No.
Okay,
I sell plans, but that's about it. I don't make these for anybody.
Okay,
I'm too busy coming up with new ideas, so.
Oh, okay. So it's moving fast in your brain just to create.
So I wanted to show you this one because the next one I wanted to show you was getting back to what you were saying about the $150 mobile
Uh-huh.
shelter. So when I said I created that, I wanted to show you this because I showed this on my website and somebody gave a response, why don't you put wheels on that thing? So now if you go back and go to shelters mobile, I'll show you what I came up with.
Oh, wow. Okay, there you go. You want to click on this one?
No,
Nomad.
not yet, not yet.
Okay.
Keep scrolling down. Keep scrolling. Next page. Yeah, I did this. There we go. The one on the left there, Nomad Bicycle Camper. This was my $150 camper that I came up with.
Okay.
And it came up to about 65 pounds, the whole weight of the thing. And this actually, I'm not bragging or anything, but it kind of started a movement in Europe. There's a lot of people in Germany now that have little get-togethers of their own version of a bicycle camper. Uh, and a lot of people have bought these plans through the years. I've sold probably 800 plans of this particular model.
And
Some
this is the
people,
inside.
that's the inside. There you go. Slightly insulated with the bubble wrap type stuff. Yeah.
Now this, and you can put this on a bike. Is there a hookup for the bike?
Yes, there is.
Okay, I need to go. Okay, is it there?
Keep going. There it is.
Oh, this wood, this piece of wood here.
Right.
That's
And
how
that's a
you would hook
plate.
the bike on?
Right. So I created where what I did was I just put a ball joint, Hyman ball joint that goes swivels around so you can lay the bike down when it's connected. I don't know if I show that clearly in here, but um, so there's a lady who's done several documentaries on me. Kirsten Dirksen, have you ever heard of her?
Yeah, I have. Oh, okay. Here's the hook. Oh, there we go for the
There
bike.
we go.
Okay, just needs a hook up here and there.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
just a piece of electrical conduit bent,
Uh-huh.
right? Kept it simple.
Oh,
There it
so
is.
you did test it out.
Oh yeah.
Now, what kind of bike is that though?
Oh, that's another home built
Oh,
recumbent.
you built that bike.
Yeah, I built about 7 recumbents.
So, do you think this will work on a regular bike though?
Yes, people make their own different versions of this. Sometimes they put in the bigger bicycle wheels. Uh, but yeah, they figure out ways to create their own hitch. Some people just cobble off of a regular bicycle trailer and take that mechanism and attach it to the bottom of the camper. And that way it's all kind of, it's not all DIY. It's meant more for something that works, something you can buy already. So
Okay.
yeah, there's different ways to tow the darn thing. This was just my idea to keep it real light and simple.
Okay, cool. So Paul, let's just help our listeners. Let's see. Um, we got ultra affordable how homes TV. I think that's our brother LA. Excellent idea. Yes. So let's say someone is wanting to build a shelter. They've been sleeping in the park in a tent, and they're ready to start building something. How would you how would you guide them? What would you suggest they do first? What should they buy? Should they find land first, or what would you suggest for a homeless or unhoused person who's ready to build something? How would they start?
Well, I was mentioning Kirsten Dirksen doing the documentary. The reason why I say that is a lot of people saw her video. It's one of her better videos. She got like 11 million views on that showing my camper. So consequently, a lot of people bought plans and have contacted me about uh, having me help out with their personal situation. And each situation is different depending on where they're at financially, what climate they're in. So it's a tough question you're asking. And I was mentioning to you in our last email that because I'm not familiar with your local, I don't know if most of your audience is local or if you get them all around the world. But for Florida, I don't know much about the climate there. I do know it gets windy, very hot, very humid. Probably not the best material to be using for the fluted plastic. So hard to say. Again, it depends on how much money somebody have has access to, where they can set up their shelter, and that's a big one, as you know. That's a big one. Um, a lot of people just try to build something in the woods and they get found and kicked out, or yeah, yeah. It's a tough one. Um, for Florida, gosh, like I say, I've played with the fluted plastic where you can get it at Home Depot or Lowe's. There might be certain times of the year where that may be something that you could use there. Probably not when it's summertime, but the problem with the material is the UV rays degrade the polypropylene kind of rapidly in a real sunny environment. Shelters would only last 2 years there, maybe at best, whereas here I've had shelters last up to 8 years before they start getting brittle.
Okay. Now, what
Um,
was the woman's name again? Kirsten, you said?
Kirsten Dirksen,
Kirsten.
yeah,
Dirk, how you spell her last name?
Dirksen, not sure, En, I believe.
And she has a YouTube channel
Fair Companies, yeah.
for more. I'm gonna just put Kirsten Durston for more information.
Oh, she's amazing. What she and her family have done.
I wonder if anyone, if LA, have you heard of her before? Has anyone ever heard of her? I've heard that name before, but so what you're saying is depending on the location and the budget, that's what's going to determine what type of shelter someone can build, right?
Yeah, it also depends on your how handy you are. I know there's a lot of women in this situation that probably hasn't had any experience making things, but I tell you, I've had a lot of women contact me. I try to guide them through, and they end up making the shelter that has gotten them out of the weather, and pretty happy for it. Yeah, yeah,
So it's like you're depending on how creative you want to be or how determined maybe you are to get out of the situation that you're in, whether it's a tent or sleeping on the ground. So I'm surprised at how many unhoused people sleep on concrete. There a lot of them are on drugs, unfortunately, or have addictions, and they don't care. But
yeah,
then those who don't have a substance abuse problem, they will sleep anywhere on a bench, in a park. But a lot of them in Chicago, especially, they have tents and
yeah.
propane tanks. So I just want to help. Let's see, Ultra. He says yes. So he's heard. LA's heard of Kirsten Durson. So I want to encourage any of you out there who are finding yourself unhoused. look on YouTube for Paul Elkins videos. Is it under your name, right?
Um, you could look up
Elkins
elkinsdiy.com. That's my
DIY.
website. Elkins DIY. Just the letters DIY.com. That's my website. And
And
I have
that's
the
that's
YouTube link. I have the YouTube link too there. It shows me creating all of the things that I've made and showing you the build process. Sometimes you don't even need my plans because I show enough. And I do shelters, but I also have gotten into boats using the same material, fluted plastic. Gas boats, electric boats, just little things you could put around a lake on, and of course my vehicles that I've made too. So yeah,
so. Do you encourage listeners to get a hold of you through your website?
sure,
Yeah,
yeah.
if they have questions, do you get or do you have an email? Or how would you prefer people contact you?
I have a contact on my website. Yeah, a little on the menu is contact, and I have my information there. Yeah.
Okay. We were talking earlier about some of the lessons that you have learned. What would you say as we come to a close? What would you say are maybe three of the biggest lessons you've learned in creating these shelters, and just some words of encouragement for people who are in a situation that's not the best, and how they can move to the next level?
Well, the one thing that I wanted to stress is I'm still learning about shelters. Unfortunately, I don't live in them full time. The one time I lived in the stand-up one, the 6x8, it was a month long. Weather was fairly decent. It rained, yes. It was dry, yes. No condensation. But I've had issues, I've found out some of these do collect condensation because it's impervious material, the plastic. So, but I learned if you're building a little shelter that you're sleeping in on wheels, you can actually cut an opening right where your head's going to be and do a little cover over your head, but being able to breathe oxygen from just down below and preventing that whole condensation thing going on. Um, yeah, there's things that I've figured out, but more than anything, you got to be persistent. You're going to fail no matter what you do if you try to play with an idea. But my message is you don't learn anything until you fail. Failure is a great thing, and this is what people really don't get. Um, Sometimes people grow up with people who didn't encourage them or didn't show them how to do things. And so when they do something for the first time and they fail, they just throw their hands up and give up. But it's those that try again and realize that what you've just learned is what not to do. And then you go about it a different way. Thomas Edison learned what not to do 1,000 times before he finally came up with the light bulb. So that's a good example. And I also have my dad's tenacity to just power on, figure things out. And that's where I've got to where some of my ideas I could say are pretty successful. Others are not. But yeah, just push forward and, try different things. And YouTube, internet, full of information. I did want to mention another guy. I don't know if you heard about him. Gosh, I wish I wrote his name down. For people living in vehicles, he's kind of the godfather of uh, giving people information where to stay, how to live out of your vehicle, whether it be a car, a van. I can maybe send you that link and you could put it on your website a little later
Okay,
on.
or put it on my YouTube channel. On
Yeah,
this, I'll put it under the comments or on
there you
the
go.
description of this
Yeah,
show.
that's
Yeah.
that channel is gold, and he's done hundreds of videos, and he's taken you tours through everybody's setup, and you can get a lot of ideas from that, from just basically homeless all of a sudden and what to do and what you need to survive. Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, I saw a video today, or yeah, it was yesterday. I shared with LA of a woman who gave all the problems she encountered in like 10 years of, or no, it's 8 years of living in her van. And so she was just, it was just so much good information, so many lessons, like you said. And I
Yes,
agree totally. You got to be persistent. If you got to be willing to learn from your failures and don't give up, be persistent and consistently uh, follow through and keep trying. Right? That's the key.
exactly.
Don't
Hey,
give up.
I'm still trying to pronounce your name, Viata. Is
Yeah,
that
that's
correct?
great. Uh huh.
Viata. I wrote down earlier. I wrote down some names of people who have written books or have YouTube channels that might interest your audience
Okay,
in
go
this
ahead.
subject. Um, Andrew Hebben is somebody who is a college thesis uh, idea. He went homeless for a year and went all around the country to the different homeless communities in the cities, gleaned all that information, and wrote a book called Tent City Urbanism. And it does exactly what you're trying to do. It's telling you his best ideas for creating these communities for homeless people. And he's done this here in Oregon and Washington. We have, uh, oh gosh, there's quite a few of them that are very successful. Andrew Hebben, Tent City Urbanism. Um, I encourage people, if they want to play with that foil backed foam board, a fellow who really got into this for many years, Michael Campbell, Campbell. You might find him on the internet, and it shows all of the bicycle campers that he made for years around the Portland, Oregon area
Spell
and
his
lived
last
out of
name
his little
again.
vehicle.
Spell his last name again.
Campbell, like Campbell, Campbell.
Oh, Campbell. Okay.
And another
Okay.
guy I really like is Aaron Fletcher. I met Aaron not too long ago. His website is 123 Home Free.
1, 2, 3. What?
Home Free.
Oh, home free.
I call him the sheep guy. He's a hoot, but he's a brilliant man, full of
Okay. So I
ideas.
got
He's
those in
been
the
living in a
comments.
little bike camper like mine with sheep for the last 10 years. And
Wow.
he is a wealth of information on just living on your own in a little area, little pulled camper. Very amazing guy. Vinay Gupta is another fellow. He's the one who developed the foam board shelters. And if you look up Hexayurt, you will find that he has a pretty cool site, and he's given away free plans how to make his different shelters out of foam board. So there's a few names there for you.
All right. So don't give up. That's what we're encouraging. Any of you out there who are going through a little hard time, don't give up. Do your research. I think for those of you who are looking for some better living situation, you got to spend time on YouTube in school. I call YouTube a university.
It really is.
So many people sharing their experience and their knowledge, and that's where you can learn to even build a house. What
Yep.
any house.
anything.
Smaller, big. You can learn to build anything on there and fix
Yeah.
and talk about fixing things in your big house. It's all on YouTube. So
Yeah.
yeah. So any final words to those who are just needing to power to create? How what would you advise them to what how the thinking what the thinking that they need, the mindset they need to create what they need in any given moment?
Uh, well, here's a pretty cool thing. Facebook Marketplace. It's a cool place to go to find anything, free
Yeah.
things
Oh
in
yeah.
your area.
Yeah.
I'm hooked on it lately. Used to
Yeah.
be Craigslist free, their little free thing, and you can get anything you want there. Beds,
Yeah.
furniture, and maybe some lumber that they're trying to get rid of. Um, I built a shop that we didn't talk about for my wife. It's on wheels. It's like a little home. It's only 13 by 7. But on the interior, you know what I did? I woke up one morning, I wanted barnwood on the interior. But when I found out how much people were wanting for it, I ended up wondering about fence contractors. What are they doing with the cedar fences around here? Because we have a lot of cedar fences. And I contacted one locally and he said, yeah, I got tons of it in my yard. I usually throw it away or burn it. You want it?
Oh wow.
That's the whole interior of her little she
Wow.
shed. And
Isn't
it's
that something?
beautiful and it was all free.
See, all you had to do was put it out there in the atmosphere and
Yeah.
it
You
shows
gotta
up,
think.
right?
Yeah, use the old noggin. Stuff's out there.
I believe that wholeheartedly. Just create whatever you want from here first and just imagine and then put it out there in the universe. And if it's a worthy thought, a creative thought that will bring joy or protection or safety, I'm sure the universe is ready to help us all.
On that subject though, the final thing that I just came to mind, and this is really something that is important, is when you do decide to build something, and many people have, they've built shelters for people and given to them in the city, and sure enough, you'll have the city turn around on you and it'll get confiscated by police. So do your due diligence and figure out what's allowed in your area, what you can get away with. Don't be afraid to call your city, county planner and ask, can I do this? Will it get thrown away? Or get all that figured out before you go ahead and create some for yourself or somebody else.
Absolutely. Great advice because the LA and I have done the show about where to start, and it's either find out what your city or county will allow in your area first and then go from there. You might have to leave the area to really do what you want to do. That's how it
Yeah.
works sometimes. Yeah. So anyway, thank you so much, Paul. We'll have to come back
Thank you
again when
for
you
having me.
create more. When you create some new things, let me know so we can talk about them and encourage our friends, neighbors, and listeners to get out there and create something.
Yeah,
Even,
yeah. Well,
and
thanks for
even
having me.
thank you for being here. So, for those of you who are here, thank you so much. I hope you share this with anyone you know who might be struggling with housing issues and just to stir up or motivate them to don't give up. It can get better. It will get better, but you've got to use your imagination and your creativity and your mind, your thoughts, and imagine what can happen first. And then the universe is just so ready to help so many people right now. So
Amen to
thank you,
that.
Paul. Uh,
You bet.
and for all my yogi friends out there, namaste and sat nam and aho aho and ashe o and shalom. Everybody have a good night. It's raining here. I hope it keeps raining. It's good sleeping weather here. So we will see you in on let's see, today's Wednesday. So I'll be back Friday with health and well-being with Viata. So don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. And for all my new subscribers, I have almost 2,000 followers on Facebook. So I really am. And one little thing you mentioned, Facebook Marketplace. There's a lot of scammers on Facebook Marketplace these days, everywhere. You know, like you said, it used to be Craigslist, and scammers were showing up there. I think a lot of people moved from Craigslist because of that. Now, I almost got scammed the other day from someone on Facebook Marketplace, and I thought that was a safe place. So be careful.
Yeah.
Don't let anybody draw you into texting and trying to set something up only through texting. I think you should talk to people on the phone.
Yep.
Hear their voice and get a picture, and if you can, do a visual, because it's really crazy out there. People are
It is.
scammers network everywhere. So we'll see you
Indeed.
on Friday, health and well-being with Beata right here in the village. Good night. Thank you, Paul. Have a good evening.
Thank you. See you, everybody.
The cook could put it in her. The cook could put in her. And her could was in this order. Could the cook would could in her. The cook could put it in her. The cook could put in her. I looked even dressed with mad push loud. On the bed with magic cool type of gal. The cook's a hopper, a cop popper R. Penenza put the cook on the order. Who's to get a limit to order a zempa? I can keep a cataract, a theater can hand. Tashi, I wish you up a sound one. The fear who the comedy a count at noon. I kick the geek up moon to a part to sad. I knew get a horse, look at Papa Garage. I knew I would for good Papa leg. I knew I can't put you I could get that. I knew could do it, I could tradition ain't yet. I knew could do it, la mother was part of that. I do feed Papa that, the guy was I knew for nice, that super do I got no horse. The cook could put it in her. Yeah, the cook could put in